Hi, and welcome to another episode of A Walk to Remember. My name is Dwayne Baker-Henderson, and as always, I'll be your host as we explore the truths and the myths of postpartum depression, as well as taking a look at some of the ways that you can make your journey through postpartum depression, either personally or with someone else, a little bit easier. Now, today I want to talk to the men out there, the husbands, the partners of women who are going through postpartum depression. Now this is the part of this journey that I know really well because I went through it. My wife is the one who experienced the physical symptoms, the emotional symptoms of postpartum depression, but I was there making sure that my family was taken care of and that Corey was being supported. And this was one of the most straining times on our relationship. And I think the reason for that is that along with postpartum depression come a lot of things that can affect your relationship. There's anger, there can be rage, guilt, there's certainly depression, of course, uncertainty, confusion, there can be irrational thinking, there can be a reduction in intimacy. And I'm not just talking about sex, I'm also talking about smaller things like hugs or holding hands or just touching. And that can all be very trying for a relationship when that has not been there in the past. And so I just wanted to give you a couple of things that I learned through this experience with my wife and my family that might be able to help you. The first thing that I learned through this experience is that it's temporary. I had to tell myself all the time that this too shall pass. That's a really great saying to remember, that it is temporary. There can be residual effects that go on for years, but really postpartum depression is a short-lived thing. It can be a couple of months, it can be a year, it can be longer than that, but it is a temporary thing. So tell yourself that all the time, that this is temporary, it will pass. And just keep that in the back of your mind so that you can persevere through anything that comes up during this experience. Now, the second thing is that men tend to want to be the knight in shining armor. We want to fix everything, make sure everybody is good, protect our families, provide for our families. And so in a lot of instances, we just want to fix things. And one of the things that I learned through watching my wife go through postpartum depression is that sometimes she doesn't need me to fix things. Sometimes she just needs me to be there and to be an ear when she needs to talk, without offering any solutions to what she's talking about. And that was a big learning for me. That was a really big learning for me. My first reaction to most conversations was that she needed me to fix something, and so my brain immediately went to, okay, where can I find a solution for this? But a lot of the time during Corey's battle with postpartum depression, she didn't want a solution. She just wanted somebody to bounce ideas off of. So keep that in mind too. What I ended up doing is asking her, do you want me to help you fix this, or are you just looking for somebody to talk to? And most of the time she would just say, I just want you to listen, and that's perfect. When she said that, I knew that I had to not think about solutions, I just had to listen to what she needed to say. So give that a shot as well. Another thing that I learned is that my wife needed time. She needed some space just to take care of her own stuff. She needed every night to go for a walk. So I had to make arrangements so that would happen, either through booking child care or being child care. I started cooking a lot more of our meals, which has continued to this day. I started taking our daughter Kalina and sleeping on the couch with her just so that Corey could actually get some uninterrupted opportunity to sleep. She didn't really sleep that much, but at least she wasn't being awakened every time she drifted off. There's lots of different things you can do just to give your wife or your partner some space. Another big thing that I learned is that I needed to take responsibility for me. There were a lot of things that that I had to give up during that time, just in order to make sure my family was going to be okay. But there were some very important things that, had I given them up, I would have lost myself in that. And I did another video previously about that. But I had to take responsibility for my basic needs. So I needed other people as an outlet for my own energies, my own baggage that I was carrying, instead of dumping that back onto Corey, because she was not in a space that she could deal with that as well. So I did have some people outside of our family relationship that I talked to. I had some great mentors and some great business partners, and I have lots of friends and things like that. So I took my baggage out of the house instead of dumping it at Corey's feet. I also had to take care of some of my own emotional things. So for instance, as I mentioned in a previous video, laughing is very important to me. It's a huge part of who I am. And so I had to take responsibility for allowing myself to do that, to laugh. Also growing and learning. I read voraciously during that time because I wanted to make sure I held on to who I was and didn't just get absorbed by the experience. I wanted to take something from it. So the last thing that I learned is to look for the lessons in what was going on. And that has been huge for me. It's helped me find meaning in that experience. And in doing so, it's made it far easier for me to talk about, which is why I'm able to do this. It created a longing in me to help other people to get through their experiences too, because it was something so new and unknown for me, and so scary, and I didn't know what to do. And so if I can offer any wisdom back to the people who are coming along behind in their postpartum journey, I will definitely do that. And that was all created by looking for the lessons in that experience for me, and just learning to grow through the whole thing and build the skills that I had as well, but just develop myself through that. And that was really powerful for Corey, I know. The fact that she could see me growing and changing through this very difficult time, I think was something that spurred her to keep going, to not quit. So those are the 5 things that I wanted to pass along. Just tell yourself it's temporary. Don't try and fix everything. That can actually do more harm than good sometimes. Give your partner some time and some space so that she can take that responsibility to help herself get well. Take responsibility for you in every situation. Don't dump your baggage at her feet. And look for the lessons in what is currently happening to you. If you do those 5 things, I'm sure that your transition through this time will be a lot easier. It might even shorten your journey. And you'll look back on it with much different perspective than you would otherwise. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. If you like this video, please give it a like. Share it with the people who you think might find value in it. If you want to see what's coming up next, please subscribe to the channel. I put out these videos every Tuesday at about 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. This one is a day late because of some technical difficulties, but Tuesdays at 5 o'clock is when A Walk to Remember will be released. I also do a video blog on Fridays at about 5 o'clock Mountain Time. More just what I'm thinking in the moment and sharing some wisdom that I might have picked up during the previous week. With that, have a great week. We'll see you in the next one, and be well. Bye-bye.